This morning on The Dish, we return to Houston and a restaurant that finds itself in the middle of the two most consequential stories of 2020, the coronavirus and civil rights. Lucille's is named for a 20th century African-American chef and entrepreneur who broke barriers in Texas and even at the White House. This week, a man looking to win the presidency this fall came to Lucille's to meet a family at the center of recent events. Lucille's has always billed itself as a place where anyone from plumbers to politicians could break bread, if not together, under the same roof comfortably. After quarantine, that's never been more true.
I wake up in the middle of the night thinking about my brother a lot.
On the day this week that Houston memorialized George Floyd, his family came here to meet with former Vice President Joe Biden.
They asked if they could have the space for a private event. Very vague.
You almost said no.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. The donations that we're doing every day when my staff is getting hammered needed a break. And then we found out that they wanted to host the Floyd family. And it's like, well, of course, please.
Chef and owner Chris Williams says it's a fitting location for a restaurant named in honor of another game-changing spirit, his great-grandmother, Lucille Bishop Smith. She was a matriarch to your family.
Right, but also she was just like that pioneer and trendsetter and just fearless with what she was doing.
A chef, a culinary educator, and entrepreneur. By the mid-1930s, Smith had her own general store, developed curriculum at Prairie View College, and ran a camp for girls. This is really your shrine to Lucille.
Yeah, we call it a reliquary.
In his private dining room upstairs, where the Floyd family meeting took place, Williams has enshrined relics from her life. This is Lucille's recipe box.
That's the treasure chest.
Including her old recipe box filled with mid-20th century favorites. Candy, cold desserts, cookies. Lucille fed everyone, from heavyweight champ Joe Louis to Martin Luther King Jr., and held friendships with the Roosevelts and the Johnsons. In this letter, President Lyndon Johnson thanked Lucille for shipping fruitcakes to servicemen fighting in Vietnam. And she was known across the country for one of her own special inventions, served in the first-class cabins of American Airlines in the 1930s and 40s, the very first instant quick hot rolls.
So we make the original recipe, the slow 3-hour method. But in that industrial time, people were looking for something convenient.
Quick.
Yeah, she came up with a way to make it instant. And then 30 minutes later, you have your hot rolls.
Oh my gosh. That has flavor.
Pretty good, huh?
As for her great-grandson, you never know what might meet on Chef Williams' dish. Where did you learn to mix so many different flavors?
I was fortunate enough in my experience. This is all my traveling that I've done. It always makes its way to the plate. It's hot.
On a whim, Williams spent a year at Le Cordon Bleu in Austin, but says he never considered making a career in the kitchen. That notion changed after backpacking through Europe.
Cooking was like my passionate hustle.
When you say it was your hustle, you mean it was like the way you could earn a quick buck?
Right. Didn't matter where I was in Europe. If I didn't speak the language or anything, I could burn. So in kitchens, it doesn't matter what language you speak because we all speak the same when it comes down to cooking.
Lucille's has survived 2 catastrophes. First, Hurricane Harvey, then the COVID-19 pandemic. One, he says, informed the other.
Like when stuff goes bad, that's when we step up. That's when we stand up. Like we look for these opportunities because that's where I come from. That's where we come from. That's the code. That's the core of our business here. It's about service, as it was for my great-grandmother, as it is for my family, period. Like that's what we're about.
Now he donates food to first responders on the night shift. That caught the attention of World Food Kitchen chef Jose Andres, who asked him to help feed the growing need of residents living in assisted living facilities. Williams says what happened at his restaurant this week only extends his great-grandmother's legacy, one he wanted to share with the former vice president.
I show him the letter from LBJ to my great-grandmother. Takes the full 2 minutes to read it, and the Secret Service like whisked him away. Takes him up to the reliquary. And I'm moving on, like, well, there goes my moment. and then everybody's calling my name, and I turn around like, what's going on? And it's Vice President Biden, with his hand out, and I thought that, but he said, you know, I don't give this to everybody, but knowing about your story, knowing about the work you're doing, I feel like you deserve this. So keep doing what you're doing. And he put this coin in my hand.
How do you feel that Lucille's was part of that moment?
It was historic, right? Like, this could really affect some serious change, right? And so, yeah, it's special and it's historic.
Is it still sinking in for you?
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, there hasn't been a lot of time, you know? I mean, because we do that, and then as soon as that was done, we go back to getting to the work of donating these meals, you know? So it's nonstop.
It has been work that Chris and his illustrious team, I should note, because they're really out there working so hard. It started with him just wanting to make sure that the people in his restaurant, his workers, continued to have a job. And all of this, everything else just followed.
Michelle, I'm so glad that you got to be there while all of this was going on. And it was nice to see that we were able to revisit, because I loved the piece the first time around.